Sometimes on a Thursday night at 10 p.m, it's only the time that you can really think about jobs, employment in the UK. Hi there, my name's Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of P2P in the UK and Australia and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. And it's 10 p.m on a Thursday night, and this is P2P Live UK, where we'll be talking about everything jobs and employment around the country. So we've got a lot to talk about today. Unemployment was released this week, so we'll take a look at that in our stat of the week. We've got two jobs here in the UK we want to talk about. We've also got opportunities in Australia and New Zealand if you're considering that big overseas trip. We've got a recorded piece that I did with Leanne Lazarus from our Brisbane office, where she's actually talking about what job seekers are looking for in 2023. So stay tuned for that. And of course, the last thing tonight that we've got is the results of last week's Twitter poll. So that's an interesting one, actually. So wait for that those particular results. Of course, we're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, so we can see all of your comments. So if you've got any questions about the jobs and employment market, or just simply want to make an observation about what you're seeing today, we can see it and we can comment on them with you. So let's get into it with this week's stat of the week. So the stat this week in the UK that I wanted to talk about is the unemployment rate, and it was released just last week. So the UK employment rate, so specifically those who are actually working, was estimated at 75.8% in December 2022 to February 2023, 2.2 percentage points higher than September to November. So the increase in employment over the last 3-month period was driven by part-time employees and self-employed workers. So we're up to nearly 30 million people who are being payrolled at the moment. So that's a monthly increase of about 31,000. So the unemployment rate, though, which is what you're looking at on the screen here, for December to February 2023, increased by 0.1 percentage points for the quarter, up to 3.8%. The increase in unemployment was driven by people unemployed for up to 6 months, so those are in the long term. So it is, given the mood, economically out there, both in the UK and globally, there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of negativity there. This number is good for the UK. 3.8%, as you can see here, from a historically around to the 70s, is near a historic low. So if you're looking for work, there is still opportunity for you to secure that in the UK, and we've got jobs to talk to you about now. So I can see from LinkedIn, thanks Bianca, they are interesting stats and very encouraging. And hello Cristiano from Brazil. We don't have any jobs in Brazil, but we do have jobs in the UK, and that's up next.
Are you being paid the right salary? Are you paying your team the right salary? Are you meeting the expectations of the market to make sure you can get the best talent as part of your team? If you don't know the answer to those questions, you should get yourself a copy of the People-to-People and Frog Recruitment Market Report for 2022. Click on the link, request your copy, and we'll get one of our consultants to deliver it as soon as we can.
Okay, here are the jobs in the UK this week. The first one we've got is in London. It's paying up to £60,000 for a HR manager. Hannah Scanlon is the consultant that you need to speak to in the London office. What you'll be responsible for is payroll documentation. You'll also be monitoring holiday and absences, making sure all sickness and return to work discussions are being had, and making, of course, amendments to policy internally to drive the business forward. Got to have worked in a small to medium enterprise previously, of course, as a human resources business partner, and ideally worked also with an exposure to recruitment and selection. So if you'd like to learn more, hannah.scanlon@people2people.co.uk, or you can just hit apply now in the comments there, or give Hannah a call with the number on the screen. Here's the next one. It's a sales administrator's role in London, paying £30,000, £28,000 to £30,000. As a sales administrator, you'll be supporting the sales team, preparing and sending quotes, processing orders, managing customer inquiries, and entering data into the company's sales database. So you've got to be proficient in MS Office and have exposure to a CRM software. You'd also be able to multitask. Hannah is also the consultant you need to speak to. Hannah.scanlon@people2people.co.uk, 074 3670 3099, or just hit apply now in the comments there, and you can learn more from Hannah. Okay, we can see that we've got another LinkedIn comment from Isha, and she says, I'm wanting to move over to the UK from New Zealand on a working holiday. Would I be able to apply for this? Absolutely. The most important thing that we can't help you out with is the fact that we can't get the visa for you. So you do need to have a visa sorted to get, and then you can apply to any of these jobs, and we'll be able to help you out. If you're already in the process of getting a work, if you're in, depending on where you are, Isha, if you're in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, there's a whole bunch of places that have working holiday programs for the UK. Then all you need to do is apply for that. If you're in the process, then I would still give our office a call and say, look, I'm arriving on this particular date, and hopefully they can help you out. Okay, and speaking of working holidays, we've got a couple of opportunities now in Australia and New Zealand. So, New Zealand is waiting for you. $23 to $28 an hour. There's an office assistant role. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to get online and hit apply now in the comments to secure this particular role. So you'll be managing insurance claims, printing, scanning, and collating documents for colleagues. The requirements for this role is you need to just be a good communicator and have a high attention to detail, and have had a role similar in an office to secure this particular role. So actually the consultant here clearly was the person that was online before. Isha is the person that you need to get in touch with. Isha is actually from our sister company in Frog Recruitment in New Zealand, Manishka at frogrecruitment.co.nz, +649 869 6251. Give her a call. She can let you know what that job is all about, or simply hit apply now. So what about across the ditch in Australia? So here's the opportunity. It's a video. Let's take a look at it.
I am looking for a corporate receptionist to join one of Australia's largest corporate law firms here in Adelaide CBD. If you are experienced in reception, corporately presented, highly organised, have excellent communication skills, both written and verbal, and you're client focused, then I want to hear from you. This is a full-time permanent role based in Adelaide CBD. Their offices are beautiful, sleek and modern, and the salary and employee benefits they offer are competitive with other corporate reception roles. Please read the finer details of the ad below and apply via the link, or contact me on 08 8317 4803 for a confidential discussion. Thanks.
So you've got some observations about job seekers and what they're looking for right now.
That I do. I think there's a fairly big disparity between what a lot of hiring managers assume candidates are looking for or are looking for in the market at the moment, and that's largely based on what history has predicted for us, and it's around salary. Don't get me wrong, I think for any candidate at the moment, with everything that's happening in the economy, salaries are still really important, but there's a lot more to it than that. So we're seeing a lot more candidates coming through that are looking for career opportunities, so that growth, succession planning, looking for training and development are two of the big key areas that individuals are looking for when they are exploring the future roles for themselves. We're also finding that job security is a big part, because they're, especially with the economy and a lot of the talks that are happening out in the marketplace, if there is that opportunity from that security and longevity perspective, that's ticking a lot of boxes for organizations, which ties into that career growth, their training and development side of it as well. Flexibility is still a request that is coming through, but we have seen a bit of a shift in that. Prior to this, it was largely based on that blended work week. So 3 days from the office, 2 days from home, whereas there's a bit more focus at the moment around flexible work hours. So potentially starting earlier, finishing earlier, and vice versa. Although there are still a lot of candidates that are looking for that blended work week, which ties into the work-life balance for them as a whole. The interesting thing is there is a big drive at the moment for a lot of candidates that are looking for roles that have a purpose to it. So they want to take on something that is going to be either community focused or adding value back into the economy, to the community. So that's a big driver for a lot of organizations.
But that's almost a shift. That's almost a shift back to what pre-COVID, that was like number one.
Absolutely.
Really.
Absolutely. The interesting thing I do really find, though, in the market is when I am talking to a lot of organizations, are they have a lot of perks and they have a lot of benefits. They offer a lot of these initiatives and opportunities for candidates or for new employees coming into the business and in their existing, but they don't really talk about it very much. They don't advertise it. It's if they had to do internal engagement surveys and ask around it, most people wouldn't know what's actually been offered to them, which I think is sad, because that's a really good piece to look at from that retention piece, but also from that attraction. If you're selling it as a package and it's not just about the salary, but it's all the other things that you're offering, you'll actually find more attraction, more numbers coming through of quality candidates that will add value into your business as well.
Exactly. I mean, look, there's been so much time and effort put onto, value propositions. But what's missing in a lot of cases is that people just don't communicate them, do they? I mean, I'm a little bit biased on this, Leanne, but I think that's one of the reasons why you should use a recruiter, because a recruiter can actually advocate all of those benefits for you on your behalf. And so to make sure that, and really make sure that the candidates that are presented understand what they are and match and align them to those candidates. But hey, I'm biased. What can I say?
I'm with you. I'm just as biased.
Excellent. Good. So is there any one piece of advice do you think you'd give to a hiring manager watching this now saying, well, I can't seem to attract the right talent right now?
I would definitely say focus on your brand as a business, because candidates nowadays are doing a lot of homework into organizations, and reputation and brand is a big thing. They search for that information on a number of different platforms and areas. So make sure from a brand perspective that's ticking all the boxes. But highlight what, as an organization, you're able to offer, whether it be in your, if you're going to market directly and you're putting in specific benefits. It could be anything from you get the day off for your birthday, through to flexible work arrangements, through to on-site parking, whichever those benefits are, add that in to that package deal when you are talking to candidates. Because the job's important, the salary is important, but those value adds are what will help get them across the line and bring them into the business and keep them in the business.
Yeah, wonderful. Fantastic. Some really good tips and some great advice there. Thank you once again, Leanne, for joining P2P Live. Hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Okay, so that was recorded last week with Leanne Lazarus from our Brisbane office. So some really important tips there, particularly if you're a hiring manager as well. So if you'd like to get in touch with Leanne, it was on the bottom of the screen, but it's also in the comments, her contact details. So it's +61 for Australia and 7 for Brisbane, and her number is right there as well. Okay, so now we've got, I've got my glasses on, because we're going to talk about the Twitter poll. Here's last week's. Has your employer forced you, inverted commas, forced you back into the office now that COVID crisis is over? Well, no, is the answer. 73.1% of Brits said no, they've introduced hybrid working. It was interesting from what Leanne was saying, that there is now it's less important to have that, but it is now entrenched. But it's not an insubstantial amount of our Twitter poll said that 20% at least said that, yes, it's now back full-time in the office, and the remainder is working remotely. Some really interesting statistics there. This is this week's question that we've got for you. For those wanting to leave the United Kingdom and work abroad, what is the most appealing thing? So why do you want to even consider jumping on a plane, getting on that boat to consider overseas opportunities? Is because better salary, or there's a lower cost of living, there are more opportunities, or something else? You can always put that in the comments as well. Hashtag P2P Live on Twitter at People to People, or on LinkedIn. You can certainly have your say. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for joining me Thursday night across Britain. If you'd like to learn more, get in touch with P2P office in London or any of our offices throughout Australia and New Zealand, and we'll be able to share some insights with you. Otherwise, just jump online next week, Thursday, 10 p.m. We'll do it all again. We'll see you then.